It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast on this, the 9th day of November, 2023. I noticed in the chat room, my buddy Pittsburgh Jason is packing for our cruise. Of course, what he doesn't realize is I should be right now in Orangeburg, South Carolina to make the last link of the drive to make it to the ship for tomorrow. That was the plan, at least. And I will tell you, folks, it's a good thing that I'm not driving. I'm not because of the tow. The tow's is coming along, although it doesn't look very good. I had the oncology appointment yesterday, and everything went fine. But the injection, this every 6 months I have to take a Lupron injection. My stars! Not only does it hurt, still. So I would have been uncomfortable sitting on my butt riding or driving. But I've been like lightheaded ever since I got, 15, 20 minutes after I took the damn thing. It's never affected me that way before. But I mean, I felt it was lightheaded enough. I was uncomfortable driving home from the doctor, the cancer clinic yesterday. I don't know if that's just, this particular shot or I don't know. I'll ask my oncologist about that next time I see her. All right, guys, we do have a couple stories today. Again, not massive, a lot going on, but a little better than yesterday. Our ships refusing shore power is our lead story. The Carnival Firenze to debut earlier than planned. A Russian ferry collides with another ship. Galveston approves $5.3 million for Terminal 16. No, that's not going to build it, folks. That's just the architectural end of it. MSC's World America reaches a milestone, and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. All right, folks, today is National Scrapple Day. No, not for me. When I eat, I don't mind eating the pig, pork, but I need to know what I'm eating. In scrapple, you don't know necessarily what you're eating, if you get my drift. And there are parts of the pig that I really don't want to know anything about. But it'll be in scrapple. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from, all the big hitters, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Pandora, Stitcher, any of them. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Anytime you're listening via the podcast and want to jump over to the video feed, you can do just that by going to the description of the podcast, and there'll be a link to the video feed in case you want to check out any pictures or clips or interviews that are on that day's show. All right. So, by the way, folks, if you haven't considered doing so, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you can. Take this as my invitation to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, helps the channel out a bunch. And you can hit the bell notification so you'll know when I go live or when a new video is up. We do this show 5 days a week and sometimes more, depending on what's going on in the world. Of course, there's possibilities it could be a day less here and there if I get stuck traveling and can't necessarily do a show. But for the most part, Monday through Friday, we're here. Okay, so the lead story today, folks, has to deal with shore power, specifically over in the UK. At least that's where the story generated. Despite the availability of shore power, which could drastically reduce emissions, cruise ships have been found to frequently operate on diesel while docked, raising serious concern about greenwashing. Nearly all major cruise lines have included using shore power as an important factor to contribute to reaching the 2050 net zero emissions goals. However, according to a report by Open Democracy, the fact that green electricity comes at a much higher cost than heavy fuel oil is leading to cruise ships utilizing their engines rather than the shore power connections at ports. Despite promises from the cruise industry to connect to shore power when and where available, it seems that for now, they would prefer not to in the UK. An open democracy investigation has revealed a stark gap between the cruise industry's environmental claims and their actions at UK ports. Despite assertions of using zero emissions green energy, data indicates that cruise ships operating out of UK's largest cruise port, so that's Southampton, of course, seldom utilize the provided shore power. Out of over 300 potential uses since its installation last year, only 71 ships hooked up to the shore power. That's a far cry from the industry's commitment to green practices. Now, I have a problem with this one, folks. Yeah, number one, I have a problem that the ships, they need to hook up. So I have a problem on that instance. I also have a problem with the ports. Uh, why not make it a requirement? If you dock here, you you have to hook up if you have the facilities to do so. Make it a damn requirement. Now, you got to do the back half of that. You need to work with the cruise lines and the electric company to get the rates where it doesn't cost them a lot extra to do that. So it's kind of a two-way street here, folks. The port, the electricity, and the ships all need to get in sync to make this work. That's my thoughts on it, folks. And I don't think the cruise industry, if they're getting some help on getting the electricity cost at a reasonable amount, I mean, you got to remember they've already spent roughly $2 million per ship to make it so that they can hook up to shore power. So they've already undergone a massive investment. Let's give them a little break, huh? Electric companies, if you want the air to be cleaner, come on. All right. I'll be back with a couple more news stories after this word from one of our network sponsors. The next story comes from Carnival, actually. Carnival Cruise Line announced an earlier debut of Carnival Firenze, the second ship that will offer its new fun Italian-style onboard experience. The ship's inaugural sailing from Long Beach is now set for April 25th, roughly a week earlier than the original launch date under the Carnival brand. The ship's maiden voyage will be a 7-day sailing with calls at the Mexican Riviera ports of Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and Cabo San Lucas. Carnival Firenze, formerly operated as Costa Firenze for Italian line Costa Cruises before she transferred to the Carnival Cruise Line. Costa Cruises and Carnival Cruise Line are both brands of a Carnival Corporation. All right. The next story, there are no photographs of it, actually. None. The ferry Stevenin encountered a collision with another vessel east of Cape Shibla on Wednesday and had to navigate towards Varna, Bulgaria. Fortuitously, no injuries were reported, and there was no release of fuel in the aftermath. Under the flag of the Russian Federation, Slayanin serves as a transporter of gas and railway tanks from Russia to Bulgaria. Subsequent to its sojourn in Varna, it set course for the Caucasus. The colliding vessel, flying the flag of Palau, hastily departed the accident site and headed to the Bosphorus, where the Turkish authorities anticipated its arrival. Despite sustaining a puncture and the flooding of 3 ballast tanks, Slayanin avoided damage to its engine room. Exhibiting a slight tilt, the ferry made its way back to Varna. All right, the next story, folks, comes from our friends down in Galveston, where we had a little action yesterday. The Galveston Wharves Board of Trustees voted to approve $5.3 million in engineering and architectural services contract for a 4th cruise terminal at the Port of Galveston. Roger Rees, Galveston Wharves Port Director and CEO, said this vote moves us one step closer to finalizing a budget and construction plans to open a new terminal at Pier 16 as early as 2025. Rees also said with terminal and parking garage preliminary construction estimates of almost $140 million, we're looking to trim costs and get to a final budget. Then we can make plans for financing the project with a combination of port cash reserves and revenue bonds. Separately, the port and MSC Cruises are negotiating an agreement related to that new terminal. So hopefully everybody will come out of this one ahead. Galveston, MSC, everybody. And finally this morning, construction of MSC's World America at Chantier de Atlantique in Saint-Nazaire, France, is 50% complete with the LNG fuel tanks now installed. LNG is an important step toward our ambition to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050, and we're looking forward to a base for the first time in the United States, a ship powered by that fuel, said Lyndon Coppell, Vice President, Sustainability and ESG, MSC Cruises. LNG is the fuel in the transition and poised to make way for bio-LNG and synthetic LNG as they become available at scale as part of our decarbonization journey. MSC World America will be the 3rd LNG-powered ship in the MSC fleet, which will number 23 ships once the vessel enters service in April of 2025. It will be based at the line's state-of-the-art terminal in Port Miami, Florida, and operate 7-night itineraries in the Caribbean Sea during its inaugural season, with all voyages calling at Ocean Key, MSC Marine Reserve. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the news portion of today's show. let's go see who other than Pittsburgh Jason is in the chat room. Of course, Jason giving me a hard time this morning, and that's okay. It's my buddy. I hope he has a good time. I was clearly looking forward to that. He had plans to get me off a tender in Grand Cayman. I said, I'm good. I would have been good with that. Hot Air Tom is with us. Jason says there's plenty more days to be had at sea. Thank you, Jason, and I agree. Hot Air Tom says, happy Thursday to everybody. I keep thinking of the movie Stripes, Sergeant Holka's big tow line. Yeah, well, the sad thing is the insurance company for Carnival, that's trying to get something out of the cancellation policy. It's supposed to be an anything cancel policy insurance. So they came back and says, you didn't provide enough documentation. We need a statement from the attending physician. And I explained why there's not a statement from the attending physician. I can't get one. The doctors are on a cruise ship, and I have no access to them. So I sent them pictures to see if that will get by it, so they know I'm not trying to fake it. So I don't know. Who knows? And I mean, if I don't get anything back, I don't get anything back. But I mean, I thought I'd at least get a future cruise credit or something. I don't know. We'll see. Mike's with us from the other side of the pond. Good morning, Mike. And there's Robert. Hi, Robert. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. Oh my, the Orangeburg ladies are missing you at breakfast. I'm sure they are, because I sure would have been there. And I figured because I was leaving so late, I was going to be late getting in there and probably, a little later getting up. But I definitely would have gone for breakfast before I pulled out. Maybe I would have done the show from there. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. Another time, Emily's with us. Says, hey there to everybody. I was checking out Amtrak Richmond to Miami. Does anyone know if the train actually goes the whole way, or is a bus involved? Amtrak Richmond to Miami. I think it's I've not done that route on Amtrak. But I remember a friend of mine, it was a former employee of mine, went to work for Amtrak on that run. And he went to Miami. And so I never heard anything about it not being all the way. Dennis is here. Good morning, Dennis. Steve says good morning to everybody out in Kentucky. There's Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Cindy, you should take Chillie's room. Hot Air Tom says, yum, I love Scrapple. Oh my God, Tom. Ugh. I don't. And I realize that's a mental thing, because I know what's in it. Dennis says, Tom, is it one of the name lines to Miami, Silver Palmetto? Did you find anything out about the J issue yesterday, the Joy issue yesterday? No, I did not, Tom. There was nothing about it on any of my normal sources. Yo, Eddie's in the house. Hey, Eddie. Yo, Brooklyn in the house. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I'm so upset that Chillie can't go, Emily. It was my dream to meet the fat travel guy. I hear you, Jason. Don't worry. We'll get it there at some point in time. Tom just did a search showing 2 daily trains direct to Miami. There you go. That's what I thought. Emily says, "Yo, Eddie, how's it going?" Katie's with us. Hi, Katie. Hi there, Tom says, "I got that too." Go away, people. Quit calling me while I'm on the show. I got that too, but not sure it's all via train. I saw something else when Googling the location of the Miami Amtrak station that showed a bus transfer in Orlando. If there is, man, I don't know about it. Jason, I heard, I'm sorry, perhaps next year. Tennis, Jason, road trip to Miami and bring Chillie. Yeah, it's not enough time now. And again, I'm not sure the way the toe is. It'd be rough. It's pretty messy still. Everybody's still saying good morning here to Eddie. You could join me and Chillie on our 2025 Grand Exploration, January 4th Bliss Cruise, TA Miami to Southampton, 17 days touring UK, France, and Germany. Then February 2nd, Bliss return transatlantic to Miami. Nikki is with us. Hi, Nikki. Good morning, Chillie and the gang. To all who are traveling and getting ready to, bon voyage. Yeah, wish it was me. Jason says, I'll look into it, hot air. I heard never to book a flight through NCL, though. Everybody's still speaking back and forth. Tom, unless that's new, I've taken train from New York many times before the blip and always through to Miami. The Orlando to Miami leg was always the slowest with delays as much as several hours. Emily says, wow, that's some cruise. Yeah, that's what we're doing in 25, the first part of 25. That's just one of our trips. Cindy says, sorry, Jason, can't get off work next week. Hope you have a great time. The casino bar at Conquest was my favorite hangout. Hi there, Tom. Thanks, Dennis. Can't always trust Google. I had a great experience with NCL Air last year from Tampa to Rome and have many other cruises booked with their BOGO fares. Was very reasonable and only one connection can't beat the price. The bus from Orlando to Miami was always the fastest, but now that's the Bright Line. Hot Air says, I was looking at JetBlue to Orlando to take the Bright Line, but while January 2025 is too far out for actual itineraries, JetBlue in late 2024 only has one direct flight, and it arrives in Orlando at 10:50 p.m. Too late for Bright Line. We would need to stay overnight and then train to Miami in the morning. Was looking for minimal moving around on transportation with Chillie's wheels. Yeah, I can appreciate that. Just heard about the Bright Line. It looks very nice and very clean. Well, it's brand new. It better be clean. Emily, yes, it's wonderful. Cindy says booked. Oh, you got the World America booked in April 25. Looks awesome. Very good. Good prices too. compared to my recent trip on the New Jersey Transit train, which were worse than New York subway. Chantier. Delight L'Antique. Chantier Delight L'Antique. Chantier de l'Antique. Okay. Maybe I'll get it one of these days. Orlando to Miami is a bit pricey. I like the premium tickets. Katie says, I will see you on the way back, Tom. Hot Air, have you taken Amtrak? Oh, I'm sure he has. Yeah, Katie, we're doing a birthday dinner with Katie to celebrate my 64th in Orlando, December 16th. Tom, are Amtrak sleeper carriages accessible? Ooh, that's a good question. When I did Amtrak last year, I could get no accessible. I could get no sleepers. They were booked. But I assume because they say that the train is accessible. And I had no problems getting on. They have the lift at the stations to get on and off the train, and they have them everywhere. So, yeah, there's ways of getting on and off the trains. I don't know specifically about the sleepers, however, but I would assume yes. California Grill at the Contemporary for your dinner. California Grill at the Contemporary for your dinner. Okay. Guys, be sure to smash the like button. Thank you, Emily. I appreciate that. Chillie, at least go to your primary doctor. He should be able to check you out and provide a letter that says you can't travel due to the condition. Yeah, I can do that. I just didn't want to go through the hassle if they'll accept it as it is. So when they tell me no on this one, I'll go see Dr. David. Keep pushing with the insurance company. You should at least get 75% back. That's what I thought. 75% is future cruise credit. I'd be thrilled. I didn't even have a medical reason and I got that. Regular Amtrak is a little scary. Did the Philadelphia to Miami route years ago. Hot Air says the dregs. Jason says, I have a feeling this cruise is going to be packed to capacity. They said it was all diamond and platinum guests, no perks. Yeah, I saw that. I've seen several places that it's sold out, Jason. So it's going to be a full one. We need a front row seat to not see anyone behind us. Yeah, right. Cindy, the worst bit of New York to Miami is the long delays just sitting. Dennis says hello to Eddie. Joanne's with us. Joanne, I did see that you popped in right at the end yesterday, just as I clicked off, so I couldn't even say hello. So hello for yesterday and today. How's that? Hot Air says 14 days till we leave Florida and travel on Brightline from Orlando to Miami. Board the Joy on November 25th. By saying hey to Joanne. Cindy says exactly, dregs. I couldn't sleep because my daughter was with us and the people on there were scary. Did love the auto train though. Hot Air, how many cruises in 2024? He can't count that high. Always book sleeper on Amtrak. Well, the problem, Dennis, was I couldn't because this was the last minute thing. I had flown to California and the flight killed me. And 3 weeks later, I was to fly to Seattle to do Alaska. And I said, man, I'm going to have to cancel this. I can't do that flight again. And somebody says, oh, do the train. So I called Amtrak and found out it was a reasonable price. And I booked the Amtrak all the way to Seattle. Took me 4 days and no sleepers. There was not a sleeper available going or coming with 3 weeks before, the train rolled. So steak dinner on Amtrak included with sleeper. Yeah, I purchased the steak dinner. And it was a decent dinner. It wasn't bad at all. And I got to know the conductors, several of them, quite well because I was downstairs because that's where the bathroom is. So I couldn't go upstairs and get to the snack car and getting drinks in the bar car and all that business. So the conductors they'd make a run for me. They'd get whatever I needed. They were really, really good. Sleepers are good on Amtrak. Yeah, you finally got it. Thank you, Dennis. I live in Florida now. No more trains from Pennsylvania. Drive to the port. Well, I kind of like driving to the port myself. And especially, in Florida, if you have handicap tags, which I do, you don't have to pay for parking at the ports. It's free. So, that's going to save me, driving down there, what I save in parking for a week would come close to paying for the trip down there and gas and so forth. So, yeah. Living by a cruise must be tempting to cruise every weekend, a cruise port. Yeah, man. If one day I need to live closer to cruises than I am now. That's going to happen one of these days. The sleeper quarters are tight. I didn't know if any of the bedrooms are accessible. Okay, that could be a problem then. Especially with the C the C2. That's a reasonably wide chair. It has to be for my big fat butt. Yeah, let's see here. We're getting close to the end, guys. Once I retire, I'll be cruising crazy. Right now, work gets in the way. I've been getting $50 last minute offers from Carnival, but can't get off work. $50 last minute offers? Wow. I'd jump all over that too. Okay. That's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Thanks to all of you for being with me. It was a good active chat room today too. My goodness. So that's going to wrap it up. I'll be back tomorrow for Friday Travel and Cruise Industry News podcast. In the meantime, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. And Jason, safe travels, my friend. Sorry I'm not going to be with you. Y'all have a fabulous day. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.